America back.
Right.
It's going to take some time. The first step was Obama got elected, and boy, he runs down that way. And then the American people went in 2010, wait a minute, time out, this doesn't feel right. They sent the Republicans to the House. And I told the Daily Herald a couple days ago in the Tribune, what was our job the first couple years? The first couple years was just to stop this president. That's all. Didn't do nearly as much as I wanted to do. The next step, guys, you got to think long term, is this election. The American people have to decide. It's taken us 70, 80, 90 years to get to the point where right now we are delivering a country to our kids they'll never forgive us for. It's taken us 80 years to get to the point where our kids are going to pay our bills. Both parties did this to us. It's going to take 2 to 4 to 10 to something number of years to get out of this and turn it around. Be a little more patient, but don't be real patient. Just a little more. Here's the deal. Here's what I hope we do in 2012. I hope Mitt Romney's elected. I hope the Republicans take the Senate and we keep the House. The next step in the revolution. And then I hope the Republicans do what they should do, which is ask the country to grow up and say we got to pay our bills, we limit government, we simplify the tax code, we let Americans keep more of their money, we start drilling for oil in the parking lot right outside this restaurant, and away America goes. I hope that's the next step.
Sure. I'd like a Diet Coke too.
Remember, I know you're part of this movement. I know you are. I love that color. By the way, here's a politician. I love that color orange on you. No, I really mean that. See, because she was giving me a death look. That's just and this movement has put their faith in the Republican Party one last time to get it right.
But see, with all due respect, that's the problem.
What?
That John Boehner with the Libya thing, I mean, just that snapshot of that. I haven't heard a peep out of him. That's so disappointing to this movement that says, we got these people in here. I know you guys don't run Congress. I get that. And I can really have a lot of empathy having to work with Harry Reid, seriously. But I struggle understanding why I never hear anything from him.
Oh, he's talking more than you think.
So whom?
Next. Yes, sir.
Mr. Walsh, sir.
I'm holding off on you.
My concern
Yes, sir.
living in this town of community of Schaumburg, I have 3 children going through the school system.
Yes.
And my biggest concern is that we've lost the media to the left wing. Our teachers,
We've lost the media, you
Right.
said.
Our teachers in these schools are very pro-left wing, and they don't keep their big mouth shut. They're very, very profound at talking their opinions to our children. And I'm really concerned because our kids are getting bombarded on a daily basis in junior high and high school about capitalism bad, Obama good. They're being brainwashed. My kids are constantly bombarded in school that they're racist because how can you vote Republican? Well, we're Christians, we're Jews, we believe in God. We don't believe in gay marriage or abortion. Our kids are being bombarded. We're losing. After this generation here, we're in trouble. We got to do something. This media is destroying our country. They're dishonest, they're liars, they distort the truth. They're not honest about you or President or Mr. Romney or Mr. Ryan. And their kids are getting, these kids, I'm telling you, if the high schools had to vote here, they would massacre Romney. It'd be like 95 to 5 because they're so brainwashed. Now it's done junior high. They have the Obama buttons on.
The quickest answer, if I could snap my fingers, if I could be president for one day and do one thing that would become law, it would be universal school voucher, school choice for every parent in the country. And every parent in this country would be given X amount of dollars, and it's up to them to decide where their kids go to school. Public, private, religious, or home. Okay? That's the only way. That kind of choice and competition is the only way you're going to force public schools and the teachers' unions and others to get their act together. I agree with you. This is a constant battle. That's a battle that we as parents need to fight. but your government needs to fight take the power away from the unions. Yes, sir.
So my son was in the same situation until he got his first paycheck and he said, "What happened?" I said, "Taxes." That changed him. So it'll happen. Grab your
Yeah,
tape.
and you know, part of the problem is, we were all young once.
Me too.
Weren't we, Jackie?
Yes, we were.
We were all young once. And you know, when you're young, you tend to just want to believe, what did Churchill say?
25.
If you're 22 and you're not a liberal, you have no heart. Yeah, I think it was Churchill. If you're 52 and you're not conservative, you have no head.
Great.
Once you begin to see how the world works, you pay taxes, you buy real estate, you get out there and work, you begin to understand that we still want to take care of our neighbor, but it's not automatically that government has to do it, because that doesn't work and we can't afford it. I will say this, Republicans, man, we need to do a better job of talking to young people. We need to tell them two things really clearly. Hey, young folks, we have a government right now we can't afford. And if we don't pay for it now, you know what, young folks? You're paying for it in 20 or 30 years. You may want government doing everything under the sun, but if we do that right now, then every dollar you make in 20 or 30 years is going to go to taxes to pay for this government. And somehow Republicans got to talk about freedom. It's like we've got teachers that don't teach our kids. This entire country was founded upon freedom. It wasn't founded upon equality and everybody gets a home and everybody gets the same education and everybody gets the same whatever. No, everybody has the opportunity to do whatever they want with their lives. I'm a teacher. And when I'm done with politics, I'm going to go back and I'm going to teach American government and American history. And I'll tell you, it makes me so sad, because when I ask young kids sometimes, these freedoms that you got, freedom of speech, right to bear arms, the right to worship, all these freedoms you have, where do they come from? Do you know a lot of young people tell me they come from government? They come from government. They come from God Almighty to protect us from government. We're born with them. Young people don't know that anymore. Yes, ma'am.
You said you were going to go back to teaching.
Nobody will hire him.
Is that middle school, high school, college? What?
I taught at the community college level.
Maybe you should start with the younger ones, because they're getting brainwashed from the very beginning. They need somebody on the other side.
School choice. Let parents choose. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have two questions.
Two
Number
questions.
one, when I was in school, since you're talking about school, didn't you remember when it was the Kennedy, when Khrushchev said, "Don't worry about America, they're going to fall from within"?
Yes.
Do you remember that one? Number two, the way I'm looking at things right now, we all got to budget our household expense. We know when we go under, we got to cut something back. Our government is going higher and higher in debt. So to me, yes, the people are out of work. So when the people right now, and this is how it's taking from government and making it their lifestyle, well, guess what? We're 47%. What is this telling us? We got to go the other way and hope this one can bring
Okay.
it down and come down.
Good. Let me answer this quickly.
Sure.
This election is about one thing. Oh, I'll buy that. This election's about this. This country isn't working. Our economy isn't growing, and we're in debt. The next time a politician tells you the unemployment rate is 8.1%, turn around and walk away. Okay? It's closer to 19. We're not working. The economy's not growing. We could be crawling into another recession, and we are flat broke. All I want to know from my candidates is, what are you going to do about this? Romney, Obama, what are you going to do? Duckworth, Walsh, what are you going to do? And there are really two visions, guys. Obama, Duckworth, that vision, they believe in government. They so believe in government. They believe in big government. Big government's going to solve all these problems. Romney, Walsh, the exact opposite. Free people on their own, left to their own devices, create America and solve all of our problems. Pick which America? Pick. Guys, this isn't complicated. It's an important election. It's also really easy. Pick the vision of America you believe in and just work hard for it. You either believe in freedom or you believe in a bigger government-controlled America. Because that's where we're going. You pick what you believe in. What else, guys? Yes, ma'am. And then I'll go to you. Let me ask a question. When Tammy Duckworth 3 weeks ago on Don Wade and Roma said, and she was asked point blank, Miss Duckworth, are we better off now than we were 4 years ago? She said yes. I asked her again on a joint appearance a week or two ago, Tammy, did you really believe we're paying twice what we paid for gas? The value of our homes is in the toilet. The value of our savings is in the garbage. Median household income is down. Illinois just became the leader in foreclosures, and the unemployment rate is worse now than it was 4 years ago. Tammy, are we really better off? And she said yes. Let me poll this room. Raise your hand if you think we are better off now than we were 4 years ago. Raise your hand if you don't think we're better off now than we were 4 years ago. I mean, I just got to tell you, folks, the average person that I meet every day in Elk Grove, Schaumburg, Addison, Bloomingdale, Elgin, Itasca, and Wooddale is not better off. But you know what? They want to be better off. You know what? They should be better off. But it's like all of us, this great good country we're laying down right now, it's like we're tied up. We got taxes on top of us, regulations on top of us, debt on top of us, and we can't get up and do our thing. So, did I answer your question? Well, most polls show that most Americans don't think they're better off. Every poll I've seen shows that. Jackie, did you have one?
I just want to disagree with you on one thing when you first came in. I do not believe that this is a blue state. If you look back at the polls, you know, everyone keeps saying, let's concede it to Romney, to the guy in the White House. I think all the color counties are red. They're all red. The only thing blue is Cook County. And that's who we have to convince. And people here in the state of Illinois should not throw in the towel. I mean, we didn't throw the towel in 2010. And I don't think they should do it this year either.
To just cap what Jackie said, I really do believe if Mitt Romney had decided to compete here, he could win Illinois. He still may, but if he had competed, he really could have. All the way in the back.
Hey, Joe, I stopped at a store today, and they're closing their doors. And
Which store?
It's out in the Dundee Mall. It's
Okay.
a furniture store.
Okay.
And I just was checking out some things, and here's a guy in there. They're losing their jobs. He says maybe 3 more weeks the store will be open until they get rid of their stuff. And I said to him, I said, well, why do you think this is? It's George Bush's fault. It's the liberal mantra. I was getting so angry with this guy. I said, what do you mean? I said, well, the economy's doing good according to the president. Well, you know, Bush. He starts blaming the whole Bush thing. How do we deal with these people? I mean, they're just idiots.
Well. Sit down, young man, or I'm going to call security. Let's remember. I don't say lightly that I believe the country's going through a revolution. And we're going to pick our poison. And there are a lot of people in America who want big government and want to be taken care of. But again, we know politics. 40% of the country's going to vote for Obama even if he's not breathing. 40%'s going to vote for... No, hey, 40%'s going to vote for Romney even if Romney's not breathing. Okay? There are a good number of people in the middle that tend to decide these things. The other factor that tends to decide elections is, okay, there's that 40 and that 40. Which 40 is more energized? Which 40 wants to run through the wall to win? And I can tell you right now, the side that wants their country back, Republican, Independent, and Democrat, is a heck of a lot more energized than the side that really likes the way things are going. Duckworth knows that, Obama knows that. And it's the people in the middle, too, that at the end of the day, they got to decide, oh, even if I like President Obama, my God, do I like what's going on? One of the best commercials I saw against him, I think I saw it on the internet.